is awesome.
And welcome to this week's edition of Everything is Awesome. I'm your host, Kevin. This is the show where we sit down and talk to awesome people about awesome things. We are going to be finishing our conversation in this first ever 3-part episode for us with Mike DeAngelo, creator of Worlds over at Tellus.com. Make sure you follow him on Twitter at Tellus and check out Tellus.com for all his cool stuff. Make sure you stay tuned for this episode where we sit down and talk about Nintendo Direct and we talk about Star Wars. If you want to listen to the 2 weeks ago episode, I believe it was episode 5, we sit down and we talk about Tellus. Then episode 6, last week, we talk about video games and LiveJournal and social media and all that stuff. And then you can get to this week's episode. Make sure you check us out on iTunes and leave a review. That would be helpful. On to the show right here only on awesomepodcast.com. Take it away, past me.
But you know, the whole arcade thing, it'll never go away from Dave & Buster's.
No, but Dave & Buster's is also more of like you need to be 21.
Yeah. Well, you don't
at
have to be 21.
a certain time, I think.
There's tons of kids all over the place.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When we went to Florida, we went to the Dave & Buster's down there, and that is pimping. But you know what? What's weird? You know how like back in the day, like it was the arcade games would graduate to like console games and stuff like that. Now, the iPhone games end up getting ported to the arcade.
Yeah, like Fruit Ninja. Like that's at Chuck E. Cheese, right, bud?
They have Angry Birds.
Oh, is that it?
They have
that's a movie now.
Cut the Rope.
Oh, it's Cut the Rope in arcade? Wow, that's interesting. Yes? Well, you either need to wait until we're done, or you need to leave on your own, okay? What do you want to do? Wait until we're done? All right. That's a Reese's Big Cup right there.
Peanut buttery goodness.
That's right. Yeah, there's dogs outside barking. I'm going to wait to eat the rest of that until we're done. Which we'll be wrapping up in a couple minutes here, but yeah, so I don't think we didn't finish Nintendo Direct.
No, I don't even think we started.
We didn't even start Nintendo Direct.
So, all right, the big news was Cloud from Final Fantasy VII.
Oh yeah,
he's going to be in Smash Brothers.
That's cool.
And I saw the video for it and everything. He, I don't know if it's him specifically, but I know, like, a lot of times they don't say like this guy's entire franchise is like coming in. But like I saw a bunch of the summons. So Odin was one of the summons,
cool.
Bahamut, Ifrit, Rama.
I hate that Final Fantasy VII gets so much love. Wait, Cloud is coming to Smash Brothers?
Yes. A PlayStation exclusive up until
recently, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are jumping the gun and they're like, "Oh my god, that means that Final Fantasy VII Remake is going to be on the NX and stuff like that." And it's just like you're jumping the gun a little bit. So yeah, he's in Smash Brothers, and they are really like pumping out DLC. Like Wii U, if there's one thing that the Wii U has been really good at, it's dumping DLC for their games. They for Hyrule Warriors on the DS, or the 3DS, they announced the first ever transgender Link.
Oh, really?
not transgender. It's a like a gender swap version of Link named Linkle. She uses like crossbows to fight her enemies and everything like that. And she was actually designed for the original game on the Wii U, but they cut it at like the last moment. What else? What else is some big stuff? They updated Mario Maker, a whole bunch of game announcements. Bah.
God, you can say something for real.
Yeah, talk, Trey.
Don't boop your nose in it. Say hello. Welcome to Everything Is Awesome.
That's his translation.
Say hello.
There.
Put this in your mouth.
There was a short, tiny little clip of the next Zelda game that's coming out. But the big Zelda release news was they're remaking Twilight Princess for the. They're remaking it for the Wii U, and are you familiar with like the amiibos and stuff like that?
Yeah, I'm familiar with them. You have like 30 of them.
Oh, at least 30 of them.
Try not to slam it on the table. Okay.
Is he talking about apple pies?
Are you saying PSY? What are you saying? Apple pie? Appa. You're weird.
Yeah. The new amiibo that's coming with that game is Wolf Link, which is pretty cool. I'm gonna real quick just look through the stuff real quick.
Aubrey Poop.
Aubrey Poop? Who's Aubrey? Don't put your mouth on the mic. Who's Aubrey? Say big words. You're 3 years old. Say real words.
A baby.
You're a babysitter? Don't put that in your mouth.
All right, it's not as exciting as I thought it was.
You know what I'm super excited for? Just moving away from video games
Star
briefly.
Wars.
Yeah,
I knew it would have been.
I didn't know that I was so excited for Star Wars. I didn't know, like, I wasn't aware how much I like Star Wars until I saw the trailer.
Do you think that it's because you have a kid and you want to share that with him?
No, I mean, I do want to share Star Wars with him, and Star Wars Episode 9 will probably be the first opportunity to really go to the theater with him to go see it.
Do you think maybe like Kevin Smith has like informed your love for it?
No, because
I don't remember us being like huge fans like when 1, 2, and 3 came out.
Oh no, 1, 2, no, and that I've had this conversation so I'm Trace. Daddy's talking. Okay, well, say words. Say real words. If you're not going to say real words, I need the microphone back, okay?
Up.
All right, up. When episodes 1, like, I've always been a huge fan. I shouldn't say huge. I've always been a fan of 4, 5, and 6, the originals. I remember, like, I have very fond memories of going and watching them with my uncle. Not going, but watching them at home with my uncle, and enjoying those films. I didn't get the feeling that I got watching the Force Awakens trailer. Like, I didn't get that feeling when trailers for episodes 1, 2, and 3 came out. Like, I don't remember caring. Like, I went to go see them, but I didn't care.
Characters or anything like that, with the exception of maybe Chewbacca, Yoda, C-3PO, and R2-D2.
Yeah, and seeing the trailer, seeing the Millennium Falcon for the first time in years, like, that is what gave me goosebumps in that first trailer.
I don't recall, did the original the 1, 2, and 3, did they use the big popular music, or did they?
I don't know, and because the music does it, like that classic John Williams score does it. I'm going. I pulled the trigger and bought a ticket to go on opening night on the 17th. I'm seeing it in standard because I could only get seats up front in the front row.
Yeah, and when you go to IMAX or 3D, and you're
yeah, and I'm going to Oxford Valley because I like those leather seats and stuff, and I don't mind. I don't mind like the assigned seat thing.
Sure.
But I do want to see it in 3D. I think I'm going to go, and I may actually. I guess maybe I'll pull the trigger and see it in 3D at Neshaminy since they have the IMAX screen too.
Yeah. See, if I've learned anything, it's that it's easy to be burned.
Yeah, over.
Raphael over.
If I've learned anything, it's that it's easy to be burned by Star Wars.
It is, but I don't think JJ is going to do that to us. I think JJ's got it.
He's really passionate about Star Wars, so I think it's
Yeah.
Okay. All right, no more when we're talking in the middle of talking. Okay, you have to wait till someone's done talking. Okay. You want that microphone? That's fine. You can have that microphone.
So yeah, I think as big a fan as JJ is not as big a fan as JJ is of Star Wars, I think it'd be very hard for him to screw it up. I kind of feel like he's going to treat Star Wars like Colin Trevorrow treated Jurassic World.
Yeah.
So I really don't think that it's going to screw up too badly, but I think part of the worry is the characters have. I don't want to see what happened to Indiana Jones happen to Han Solo.
I don't think it's going to happen. Like, I think that they're using now. I think he's going to be used the most out of the original characters. I think,
because he's probably aged the most gracefully.
Yeah, I think. Well, though Mark Hamill looks good. Like, he went on a good a diet and lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
And there was a leaked picture. There's nothing been official about like scene of Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker, but the official leaked picture was him with a white robes with maybe brown robes with a long beard.
Yeah.
So what? Trey, we need like 5 minutes, okay?
Have you heard like the speculation that he's the bad guy? That Leia and Han are divorced.
Well, so now in comic books, which are canon now, we meet a African American lady who is something Solo. Like she's the ex-wife of Han Solo.
So at some point he was with Leia, wasn't anymore.
Yeah. And I think it looks like they're back together based on the trailers. I don't know. I've heard the rumor that Luke is the bad guy. I don't buy it.
I don't think so either.
I think that's too obvious. I think that he's in hiding a la Yoda. He's in hiding a la Yoda. Like, not hiding, but he's just secluded away like Yoda was. And Luke.
By the way, Finn is a sweaty mess in every picture I've seen him in. That Stormtrooper armor has got to be sweltering.
I think they proved this as false, and it was like a fake leak. But the rumor I heard was that he's Finn Carlisian. Carlisian. He's Lando's kid.
Calrissian.
Yeah.
Come on, Star Wars fan.
Yeah. I'm not like the super hardcore Star Wars fan, but that was a rumor that I heard.
I could get behind that.
But I also heard that it was false.
And he's actually Leia's kid with Lando.
Though I could buy that he's Han's kid with that other lady. Though I would imagine that because he's. I don't want to sound racist, but like he's a dark-skinned guy. Like he's not like he doesn't look like he's mixed. He doesn't look mixed. But I mean, the Star Wars universe, who knows what they're going to do? I assume that I don't know how he plays into it, but they haven't released his last name or Rey's last name.
So, I have a feeling Rey is somehow either Leia's or Luke's.
Yeah, I think she's a Skywalker. Or Solo.
Yeah. Because I think you have to add that to the story. You can't have two newcomers.
I would be shocked that if one of them is not like if there's not an offspring to
one of the
three heroes. Though Kylo Ren could easily be one.
Yeah, that's true.
Though I would hate to see that because he is taking up the mantle of Darth Vader. Like he's
the Sith.
Yeah, and like he is the super Darth Vader fan, like that helmet.
Yeah, because he's collecting the helmet.
Yeah, he has the helmet. So like, I would hate to see him be a Skywalker because it's just another
for him to do that.
It's just another bad guy that's a Skywalker, you know.
Yeah.
But I'd be okay with anyone else being a Skywalker kid or a Solo kid. I want to see. Careful with your arms. I want to see if they address Han Solo having like an inert ability. Inert, is that the right word? Inert ability of using the Force.
Inert means it doesn't work.
Do Hades? I don't know. Can Uncle Mike finish talking?
It's gonna be a one-parter.
Nah. This happened with Garrett and I, where I had to edit like some of the stuff out, but it still ended up being 2 50-minute episodes.
Nice.
Anyway,
I don't think I don't know if it's been like this in the comics, but I know in the novels Han didn't have any powers or anything like that.
Well, extended universe, like the old
extended
novels,
universe,
yeah. So they're not canon anymore.
That's a shame because a lot of that stuff was really good. But I know Disney wiped that out so that they could do their own thing.
Yeah, and I'm excited. Like I don't know why. I don't remember the last time. Like I was excited for Jurassic World because that to me is more of like I would always say Back to the Future is my trilogy. Like that's just what I grew up on. I watched it a lot as a kid. Enough to where I should have it memorized and I don't. But Jurassic World is like the one that I was alive for. Not Jurassic World. Jurassic Park was the movie I was alive for and a very like formative story in my childhood. Whereas the trilogy is definitely not my trilogy. But Jurassic World just had a lot of like nostalgia.
There was a lot of fan service to it. Although I really like Jurassic World, but as a movie itself, it's actually pretty shitty. Like when you look at it.
Yeah, it can.
Like those kids, you could take the kids out of the equation altogether, and like the kids were completely pointless.
Yeah, but it does. Like, here's my problem with like a sequel to this movie now, and I've said this on this podcast already, but The problem is that we've now seen 3 formulas for Jurassic Park movies. One with 2 movies involved being in the park, and then the other 2 are train wrecks.
Yeah.
Comparatively, what are you going to do? Like, how are you going to make another good movie? I don't see it. I don't see it happening.
Yeah, but I mean, if Colin Trevorrow, being as big a fan as he is, has any input, although at the same time you could say Steven Spielberg was probably a pretty big fan of the first 3, and you saw how 2 and 3 panned out, and he directed the 3rd one, didn't he?
He may have.
I can't recall.
I know he did the first one. I think he may have come back for the 3rd one. Maybe not. He was definitely executive producer and everything.
Yeah. All I know is that it did not end well.
No.
So it's hard to write that story.
Yeah, and it's hard to to go back to the well on some of these stories. But here's what I like about so Jurassic World is kind of like going back to the well and kind of telling the same story but in a different way. Mm-hmm. This is Star Wars Episode 7 isn't telling the same story. It's not like a loose reboot. It's like a straight up
but
continuation. It could be, but I feel like there's something good.
Here's the thing about JJ. You saw what happened with the second Star Trek movie, and I know he wasn't actually directly involved in it, but I think he did executive produce.
He did, yeah, executive produce.
Now, at any point, he could have said, no, this has been done before. So with Star Wars, it could be the same thing. He could say, well, people love, A New Hope, so they'll love this if it's A New Hope 2.0.
Yeah.
And there will be lots of lens flare.
I don't, I think he's rolled that out. No, there's a good feeling about it. Disney's behind it. And Disney's done, when Disney first bought Marvel, I mean, I had a lot of concerns about it. What are you going to do to Marvel here? But they have treated Marvel really, really well on all fronts.
The only thing about all that is that, sometimes you make mistakes. You might have all the hope in the world for stuff, but you can still make mistakes. Like John Carter, the Lone Ranger. I mean, sometimes people just don't dig what you're putting out. I'm sure somebody thought that Jar Jar Binks was hot shit when those first 3 movies came out. And George Lucas thought it was a good idea to superimpose young people on top of the original. Here's
another big tell to why I have hope is that he was originally he said he was going to be a consultant on it, but he didn't consult on this movie at all. He knows nothing about it, and he's said, I don't care. I don't want to know.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he realizes that he gets a lot of hate.
Yeah.
He invites a lot
and that's
of hate.
I think I was a driving force to selling Star Wars. Lucasfilm was I'm tired of it. I don't want to deal with it anymore.
Yeah.
I'll go do my own thing.
And I wonder if that is part of the reason that so many people are so excited for this movie is because George Lucas is no longer a part of it.
I don't know. My excitement is, and it's because it's the characters we care about.
Yeah.
I like watching that first trailer where you don't even see the characters, you just see the Millennium Falcon. I saw that trailer and I was like, all right, I'm digging what I'm seeing. And then you see the Millennium Falcon and I was like, oh my God, this is what we were missing. We were missing the
stuff that we know.
The stuff that we care about. We didn't need to know. We didn't need 3 movies about Darth Vader. We didn't need that. So I'm really hopeful for it. I don't think, there could be disappointment, but I don't think it's going to be that way. I don't think we're going to hit disappointment.
I am going in there with shattered expectations. I am going in there expecting, we'll say episode 2.
I'm going in expecting, if we're gonna go on board and with the general consensus and say Empire Strikes Back is the best of the original trilogy, I'm going in there with Return of the Jedi expectations, which is to me the worst of the original 3. I like all 3 of the original, so I'm going in there with Return of the Jedi expectations.
I'm going in there with the worst of the worst. Although one was probably pretty bad too.
One is that's the only one I've never watched all the way through. I fell asleep during it. No, maybe I fell asleep during episode 2 in the theater too. I'm not sure, but
yeah, we'll say 1. We'll say 1.
Episode 1.
Because one had Jar Jar and Watto.
I mean, if you're going in with episode 1 expectations, I can't expect you not walking out happy because it's got to be better than that.
Yeah.
I expect it to be better than the original, than the prequel trilogy.
I'm really hopeful that it is, but part of those expectations are we're not going to opening night. We're not going to opening weekend, probably.
Yeah, I'm going to opening night. It's the only movie, and I'm a huge Marvel fan. It's the only movie that's really called to me saying like you need to check this out opening night. Like I don't know, and I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. Like I'm not a Star Wars nerd. I don't know the in and outs. Like I know the basics. I know Han shot first. Like that's my Star Wars geekiness. Like I know the Tusken Raiders. I know that they're called Jawas. Like I know the basics. Like I know it if you've watched the movies. The only extended universe stuff I ever read was the Cornelian trilogy, I believe it's called. It's Han's home planet.
Cornelian.
Yeah, it's that trilogy of books. It's the only extended stuff I've ever read. I've never read the comics. I don't know the extended universe. I've watched the prequel trilogy once, I guess.
I remember reading one of the Star Wars books in Mr. Fry's class in Charles Bame.
So one last thing I want to get into, because I know we're getting towards like when you need to get home and stuff, and I know it's getting late for us old men here.
I'm getting the please come snuggle messages.
Yeah, I know we're old men and we need to go to bed. And Trey actually needs to go to bed too. But one of the things that we always used to talk about was Once Upon a Time, and I feel like that's a good way to end this show because you and I have been emailing about it. So let's have a quick. Welcome to Owe It, the unofficial Once Upon a Time segment of this Everything Is Awesome podcast. We're in season 5 of the show, where we have the Dark Swan. Emma has taken on the role of the villain of the Dark One. We're 7 episodes in, going. I think this next Sunday is going to be episodes 8 and 9. It's going to be a 2-hour special.
Is this the mid season?
No, I don't think it's mid season. I think there's a couple more episodes, but they're doing a 2-hour special. I think
is this the 100th episode?
No, that's going to be the mid-season premiere.
And you heard who's in that, right?
I know Cora's coming back,
and Pan,
and maybe Sydney. He's coming back too. I think it's the genie, Sydney Glass.
Oh, okay.
Trey, you have to be careful with the wires, okay? So anyway, let's talk a little bit Once Upon a Time. Are you caught up?
I'm caught up.
Okay, so what are your thoughts? Let's just have a quick general overview of your thoughts of the season thus far.
All right, I'm not a huge fan of Grumpy Dark One.
Dude, the worst. I hate even now this last episode when they went back to the 6 weeks ago or whatever it was in the Enchanted Forest when she's dressed in white and she wants to cure herself of it. Like I feel like this and maybe it's been gradual and I haven't noticed it, but like she was talking like the Dark One. She was talking grumpy even though she was Emma. She wasn't the Dark One necessarily.
I wonder if all the time being the Dark One has screwed up her acting.
Maybe, I don't know, but she was sitting there talking to Merlin and it was just talking like this, like I'm the Dark Swan and I'm evil and this is why I'm going to talk like this. And I was like, why? I hate it!
But I mean, compare her even to Nimue as the Dark One, this brand new actress right off like the chopping block, and she is incredible as the Dark One. Nimue was awesome in both roles that she played throughout the episode. And Robert Carlyle does an awesome job. There's not been one situation where the other Dark Ones are anywhere near as bad as
horrible.
Yeah. I don't know why, because I mean, all right, you're a director and you're seeing this, and not only you're a director, you're one of 8 directors who sees the way that this character is progressing, and not once do you say, this isn't anywhere close to any of the other Dark Ones. Like you don't have any of the swag that Robert Carlyle has. And I mean, we've seen Jennifer Morrison act before. We know she's a capable actress. So it's like, why are they letting her get away with this?
At what point does someone say you sound foolish? Yeah. It sounds horrible. I don't understand it. The overall story of the season, I'm okay with it. And I'm not one to diss acting, but her as the Dark One is horrible. That's usually the least important thing to me. But that is just horrible. I hate every moment of her as the Dark One.
I got the perfect thing to sell this. Henry is a better actor than her this season.
He is. He is. But the story, like the storyline this season, I like. Like,
I can dig it. Even if somebody else played grumpy actor, I think it would be okay. But it's just I don't know if she just doesn't like her storyline, so she's not really pushing for it, or what the case might be.
I don't know.
Because like I said, we've seen her work well before. So I just don't know what the deal is with this.
But overall, I like the season thus far. I think what's going, and I like that the rumor is that they're going mythology next half, where we're going to meet Hades and presumably Hercules and presumably like Zeus and some of the other mythology.
I'm kind of sad that they never really wrapped up the Frankenstein thing.
Yeah, because that was the only, like, so far the only instance of like, hey, they're not all fairy tale characters, and they never went back to it.
Maybe they will go and do like Dracula and Frankenstein and like the Invisible Man and stuff like that. It's a possibility. Like we might see it eventually, but I don't know. I'm not holding out hope for it because we haven't seen Dr. Whale in a long time.
Well, he's on iZombie on CW now. So
yeah, it's very true.
He's busy doing that.
With Tinkerbell.
Yeah, Tink's on there. I don't know, like, I don't know if they're going to get to it because I have doubts that they're going to. I don't know if they're going to go to a 6th season. Like
you got to think that they're still making money, and
maybe I don't know because like I know the ratings are. I don't know what they are now. I know like from season premiere to episode 2 they went down.
That's true. But I think everyone did. Like Supergirl debuted the nice numbers and dropped. Blind Spot debuted the nice numbers and dropped. I think TV in general is doing poor this season.
Basic. I think like cable television and premium channels are still doing well.
And
maybe not premium.
Netflix and Hulu and stuff too.
Like AMC is doing phenomenal. Like Fear the Walking Dead was the highest rated
but it
show.
dropped like a rock,
no, its entire season performed well.
That's really surprising considering how crappy it was.
No, I liked it. Did you watch Fear the Walking Dead?
No, I read about it. but like all the descriptions, like it was like the same episode every single episode.
Nah, I liked it. I think it's worth a watch, especially since it's only 6 episodes long.
Yeah.
Here's what I liked about Fear the Walking Dead. By the end of it, like I started to care about the characters. That's a key difference. That's why I like The Walking Dead better, because I care about the characters. But what The Walking Dead has lost is the fear. And you got that back in Fear
because
the Walking Dead.
Because any one of these guys could go because you don't know where.
No, not just that. Like I feel the emotions of the characters on the show. They're not afraid of zombies anymore. These guys don't know what they are.
Yeah.
They're afraid of the walkers.
And not only that, but the zombies themselves really aren't walking.
Yeah, like it's all just, I liked it. I thought it was a great season. And another thing that they did perfectly is that the way the season ended, it ended where if they didn't renew it for a second season, like it was closure.
It was a nice bookended kind of chapter.
Yeah, like the story was told, it was ended. It left it open for telling more, but it also closed it. Like it was great. I'd say it's better than the first season of The Walking Dead.
Well, the first season of the original started off so brilliantly, and then those last couple episodes, it was like someone just vomited on like a Picasso.
I think it was 6 episodes long. Mm-hmm. Episode 6 was horrible. Episode 4 was meh. Episode 1, 2, 3, and 5, fantastic.
5 was kind of rapey, wasn't it?
I don't know, but it was definitely the way that the season should have ended. It should have ended on season 5.
Episode 5.
All right, so can you open that for him?
I've been concussed, Trey.
Do not roll around in the grass or go down the slide.
Do you want me to keep this open so you can keep an eye on him?
Yeah. All right, do not roll around on the grass, okay? Just catch bugs and stuff. Catch lightning bugs if there's any. See if there's any lightning bugs.
In October. November. Yeah. Holy crap.
Put it here on the floor. All right, but Fear the Walking Dead season 1 I think was better than season 1 of The Walking Dead. It's if you haven't watched it and you have 6 hours to kill at some point.
I have to catch up on Blacklist.
I don't watch that.
That's a much better show.
Watch it when you have time. I thought it was really well. I thought it was done well. I thought it was good. I thought it was, it eventually got as compelling as The Walking Dead as far as the characters are concerned. I don't know. Is there anything else that you have that you want to talk about?
Let's talk about how.
Do you want to talk about marriage.
Yeah, that was kind of awesome. The wedding went off without a fucking hitch.
The wedding was amazing.
Everyone came together. Like we've been talking about it. Like it. I mean, obviously it was our wedding, but it was like an everybody wedding. Like everybody came together and made it awesome.
Yeah, it was. I had a lot of fun at that wedding. It's the last time I've drank until the doctors give me the okay to drink again. And it was a really good time. It was nice seeing a lot of people that I haven't seen in a while, like Chris and even Kieran. Like I don't get to see Kieran that often anymore. And, it was a lot of fun, and thank you for letting me be part of it and share on your day. You don't have to give a huge recap of your 2-week honeymoon in Florida, but how was Florida?
Florida was good. There was we had great weather every day. There was like one day of rain. The new Harry Potter stuff in Universal was pretty cool. Like going into Diagon Alley was pretty neat. It was like in a lot of amusement parks, like everything is very clearly marked. Diagon Alley, it was like you had to kind of like wander your way.
That's cool.
And the new ride was kind of meh, but the whole Wizarding World like of Diagon Alley was just so impressive. And man, butterbeer every day was so good. They introduced butterbeer ice cream, and it is just like it's the best thing ever. Oh, butterbeer ice cream.
And what else did you do besides the parks?
We did like dinner theater like 3 or 4 times. We went and saw Cirque du Soleil. That was the highlight of the entire. That was incredible. We're gonna do Cirque du Soleil every time we go back down there because
cool.
it was that good. We did medieval times. It's our goal to try and do medieval times in every state that they have them. I think there's like 12 of them. So we got 2 down. And then there's a place down there called like Pirates Cove or something like that. And they do like a Pirates dinner theater. Which it would be great for kids like the next time you go down there, maybe a little bit older for Trey and Aubrey. And they get you involved. Like in medieval times, they don't get you involved, but in the Pirates one and the Musketeers one that we went to, they get you involved. The Musketeers one was kind of like a sing-along kind of thing. Like they did like a mishmash of like 80s and 90s like songs to like action sequences and stuff on like a pirate ship. And because we went in October, they were Halloween themed, so there was like vampires and stuff. And all the practice that I've had with Zelda throwing frisbees and everything. Did you see that post?
No.
So we were involved in one of the events, and it was the only event that our team won. So what they did was they told me that I was going to be throwing like rings onto the ship to Aramis, and he was going to catch them on a sword, and like there were 3 other groups doing it as well. And then what they did was they didn't tell people until they got up there that they were going to blindfold you, and they were going to have the person you were with, so in my case Rihanna, give you the rings, and you were going to throw them blind, and the person was going to say, you got to go this way or you got to go that way. So in my case, I was blindfolded throwing rings, and I think I missed 1 out of all of them, and we ended up winning. So it was cool to be involved in that. Like they don't do that kind of stuff with like medieval times. They'll like do the knighting ceremonies and stuff, but like not during the event. So that was really cool. The food was delicious. And then besides that, like we did mini golf a few times.
Just kind of resting and relaxing.
Swimming. Yeah.
That's cool. That's good. All right. So let's, I think it's time to end this show.
Yeah. Let's just. Everyone's like, did she leave her kid outside?
Trey, come here, bud. All right, so let's get your plugs out.
So if you want to pay attention to all the cool Tellus stuff that we're doing, you can go to www.tellus.com. If you want to support Tellus even more, you can go to the Tellus Patreon at patreon.com/ is it backslash? So I guess it's forward slash. We'll just say slash Tellus. I mean, I'm a contributor to That's Entertainment, so you could go to thatentertains.com.
You're also the co-founder.
Yeah. But they don't know that anymore.
Co-founder and president. I am co-founder and CEO.
Do I have any other plugs?
Nah, I think that's it.
For now.
Tell us on Twitter. Okay, do you want to come talk on the microphone in a second? No? Okay, I'll be outside in 1 second. All right. Well, Mike, thank you for doing the show. I wish it was the first episode, but I got Garrett here for the first one, so it was a nice transitional swap. But I'm glad you did this. I hope people support Tellus enough for us to do some sort of Tellus podcast.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
Because I love talking Tellus.
And I'm signing.
Oh yeah.
And it was funny too. We had so much more that we could have talked about.
Oh God, yeah. And and that's what, like, the next time you're on here, we don't have to just talk about like you writing and stuff. We can talk about whatever. That's the second time guest. We just sit around and we BS. So I'm sure we'll be back on. That's the benefit of us being best friends, is that I can say, hey Mike, come on the show, and you'll probably be here.
That's true.
So thank you again, and we'll be back next time with a brand new guest. I think it's going to be C-Rob.
I hope it is.
I think it's going to be C-Rob. We're going to talk wrestling. We're going to talk road stories. We're going to talk a bunch of stuff. For Everything Is Awesome, I am Kev.
And I'm the co-host for this week /month/2 months, Mike.
You can find me on Twitter at HHWST. You can follow Everything Is Awesome on Twitter at That Entertains, and you can find us on awesomepodcast.com. We are probably on That's Entertainment's website right now. So until next time, we'll see you right here only on That Entertains and awesomepodcast.com.